Yo, what's up, guys? Raptors lose on the second night of a back-to-back to the Philadelphia 76ers, 115-102, guys. Now, guys, what can we say about this game? The Philadelphia 76ers came out tonight with some vengeance tonight after the Raptors' overtime win last night. The 76ers shot the absolute lights out tonight against the Raptors on the second night of a back-to-back, guys. In that first half alone, man, the Sixers shot over 70 bloody percent, guys, in that first half. Incredible to see. 73% from the field, guys. 27 of 37 from the field. 13 of 20 behind the arc. 65% from three-point land, guys. In that first quarter, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George combined for 37 of the first 45 points for the Sixers in that first quarter, guys. Maxey dominated the Raptors in that first quarter, having 18 in that first quarter. Clearly was looking for some vengeance after Elijah Martin laughed in his face, put his hand in his face last night after the game, during the game last night, of course. And he really was looking for some vengeance tonight, making it a known thing to point out three-pointers to the Raptors bench every time he made a shot, barking how they can't guard him and shit. Just reiterating how much I can't stand him as a player, how much of a thorn in the side he is for the Raptors, and the Raptors didn't shoot the ball well in this game, guys, in general, in the first half, especially, shooting only 36% from the field in the first half, 15% from three, guys. Not a good quarter by the Raptors at all. You have 5 turnovers in this game. The Raptors were getting easily dominated offensively by the Sixers. The Sixers were sending a lot of screen and rolls. Raptors not doing a very good job defensively, always going under instead of over a screen. Raptors getting beat a lot of the times, and obviously we saw Maxey making some three-pointers in the first half especially. They were really shooting the ball while the Sixers. You had Barlow breaking chops. You had George, like I mentioned, Embiid, Maxey, Edgecombe as well had a solid first half there. They were just all over the Raptors. Maxey had 23 at halftime, Embiid had 17, Edgecombe had 12, George had 8, so those 4 guys alone were a real thorn in the side for the Raptors. Even though PHI had 15, he was the only guy in double figures at halftime for the Raptors. Quickly had 9, but we know Quickly, shooting-wise, he really is a pain in the ass for us Raptor fans. The way he shoots the ball sometimes in games drives me bloody nuts, but wasn't a good first half by the Raptors. They were dominated in that first half. The Sixers had scored 80 points. It was 80-51 at halftime, guys. This game was already over going into the third quarter. Now, the Raptors did battle valiantly. Give them credit. They did play well in the fourth quarter a little bit, did cut the deficit down, but the Sixers were just too much for the Raptors, guys. Outscoring the Raptors, 26-19 in the third, 25-6. The Raptors outscored Philly 26-19 in the third and outscored them 25-16 in the fourth, but it just wasn't enough. The deficit was just too much in the first half. Philly outscoring the Raptors 45-20 in the first quarter and then 35-23 in the second quarter. That was the game there, guys, in one half. The second half, Philly literally just went through the motions, did enough to get through the game, and they were able to beat the Raptors in this game, guys. Just not a great performance by certain guys in this game, if you ask me. Now you got guys, Scotty had 15, not the best game. BI had 17 and 10 after having 15 in the first, only having 2 in the second. Not the best game for BI. Murray Boyles having 12. Shed only having 3 after having 22 the night prior. Quickly having 18, 8 of 18 shooting. Don't get me started with Quickly, guys. Sandro Mamo after having no points last game, only having 8 tonight. AJ Lawson had some great minutes, 17 minutes, having 14 points. Give AJ Lawson some more minutes, Coach Darko. I really like how AJ Lawson battles on the defensive side of the court, makes smart shots on the offensive side. You see guys like Ochai Agbaji only played 1 minute tonight. That is a very telling sign. Grady Dick only played 11 minutes tonight. Grady and Ochai, they're playing themselves out of the rotation. So those guys there better pick it up, because if not, they're going to get packaged in a deal possibly. Who knows, for maybe a John Morant or a center possibly. Who bloody knows what's going to happen with those guys there, but their game has really dipped off. Literally, Grady's hasn't been good all year, and Ochai's has really dipped off as of late. Not very good signs for those guys, if you ask me. Elijah Martin, he only played 12 minutes tonight, guys, only having 6 points tonight, but I still like what I saw last game from Martin. We'll only see more things from him if he gets more playing time and progresses as a player. But like I said, guys, the Sixers just shot the ball well. Raptors had nothing for them. Obviously last night they had no Embiid, no George. If the Sixers stay healthy, they're a really formidable team in the East, guys. Maxey finishes with 33, and Embiid finishes with 27. So those two guys there, combining for 60 points, really impressive. Those two there, we obviously know what those two are like. We've played them in a playoff series before. They've really been a pain in the ass for the Raptors. And you got George with 15, Edgercombe with 15 as well. So those four guys there are really good for the Sixers. If those guys are healthy and they're playing at their best, Philly's a great team if you guys ask me. But just not a great game, John, for the Raptors, shooting 40%, 16% from three. Rebounds were the same. Turnovers having 9, Sixers at 16. But like I said, guys, it didn't really matter. We obviously got to see Kyle Lowry at the end of the game there, possibly his last appearance in Toronto as an NBA player, of course, for the Philadelphia 76ers. We saw Lowry take a few shots. Unfortunately, missed all 3. But it was still great to see the greatest Raptor of all time have one more appearance in Toronto. We all know what Kyle Lowry means to the city, first in almost every category except for a couple categories here. An NBA champion in 2019, went through all the growing pains with the Raptors, and it all culminated into a 2019 championship. We have nothing but love for Kyle Lowry in the city of Toronto. We are forever grateful that he helped the city lift a banner in Toronto. I loved Kyle Lowry's time here. 9 fantastic seasons here as a Raptor. Right there, guys. Lowry's name on the banner. Just beautiful to see. Wish nothing but the best for Kyle Lowry. Cannot wait to see his jersey retired one day at Scotiabank Arena. That will be an emotional day, even probably more emotional than Vince Carter's. Great to see Lowry. Unfortunate loss for the Raptors tonight, guys. We'll see how they bounce back in their next game. Even though they played great last night, not a great performance tonight, but the Raptors, I still feel, are playing some great ball. Great to get Ingram back. Hopefully we get RJ back soon. Hopefully we get Jakob back soon. Let's see what this team is like, healthy, full strength. But they're still playing some great ball as of late, guys. Just an unfortunate night tonight, an off night for the Raptors, guys. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this game tonight, guys. So like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Raptors, go as always, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode of Raptors Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.